welcome to the Jim Bakker Show. I'm your co-host, Tammy Sue Bakker. Today our very special guests are Ray Gano and Derek Gilbert. Now please give a warm welcome to my parents and the hosts of the Jim Bakker Show, Jim and Lori Bakker.
Hello everyone, welcome to Grace Street.
Yes.
We have an amazing show, a lot to talk about.
God created us all with free will, but when the enemy starts bringing irrational people like Senator Sanders to the fore, and the country sits back and says, oh, he's making sense, like with this play in New York, or with Kathy Griffin, oh yeah, that's just art, that's funny. In what reality is that actually funny or art, or does Senator Sanders make sense?
We as Christians, what we're doing is we're bickering between ourselves so much over minor issues that the enemy, all he has to do is just sit back, enjoy, and let us do our own, cannibalize ourselves in a sense. But what we need to do as Christians is we need to get organized. We need to put this petty stuff aside, organize, and start pushing back. That's my motto, start pushing back. We've got to start doing this so that we can make a difference for the Lord. Amen. Otherwise, we're going to lose our nation, and we're the thing that we're going to leave to our grandchildren. Yes. Everything is going to be communism.
It is so frightening when you realize if for instance the EMP, if that thing hits, what we're going to do is we're going to end up not being able to go to a grocery store. Groceries won't be delivered. Nothing will come by rail. Nothing will come by car. Nothing will come by airplane. The whole grid system is gone. The traveling is stopped. And this is what the EMP has been warned. Some of the great men of even politics like Governor Huckabee, people like that have warned us.
It has to be a priority for America for this reason. It would literally shut down not just our comfort of life, but life itself. You couldn't make transactions. Think about all the people in a hospital. If you truly lose power, and I'm not talking about losing it for a day or two, but lose the transmission system, which if there were an electromagnetic pulse, which is a blast that could be well over the atmosphere, so it's not like a nuclear device hitting the Earth, it just happens above the power grid. It fries everything electronically. It would be that almost 95% of the country would likely die. And again, what you said is true. This is not some, cuckoo saying it. It's leading sociologists saying that it would likely be that 95% of the world could die within 6 months. It's that serious a situation.
And Ray, you talk about helping people. You talk about getting through the storm, and I believe it's going to be the great soul-winning time. I believe the harvest time, and this time that's coming, this crisis that's coming, the perilous times that are coming, more people are going to come to God. Some of them will get scared to death, and they're going to turn to God and turn to the church. But God is going to have the only answers when the world's coming apart.
What we need to do as responsible Christians is build our ark. Noah was the original doomsday prepper. We need to focus on what he did, and we need to emulate that. Build our ark. That means, again, prepping up our food, prepping up our water, putting our medicines and stuff together, having a means to protect ourselves. All these things. When we build our ark, then we are going to be successful. We'll go through the storm, and when we get to the other side of the storm, then we're going to be able to help people. But the key is getting through that storm. We need to think like Noah.
I was brainwashed by growing up in a major city. I grew up in Chicago and grew up thinking that there would always be food in the stores at the end of the street, that the police would always be there, the plows would always clear the snow away, the power would always be on, and so we didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. And I had this mindset, this opinion of preppers like Ray, that they were guys wearing camo and hiding in a cabin somewhere just waiting for things to fall apart so they could just laugh with glee as the world fell apart around them. Ha ha, I got mine. Too bad, suckers. But that's not, when we got to talk to Ray, we found out just what he said is the reason for preparing. So that we are then prepared to present the hope that we have in Jesus Christ, the gospel.
That's it.
After things fall, because that's when people will be ready to listen.
It's the truth. So right on.
You know, you host a show, Sci Fridays and
Sci Friday with the smart one.
and Sky Watch TV. What do you talk about on your show? Do you talk about this kind of stuff, survival? And
Yes, in fact, Ray was interviewed for a couple of programs that we'll broadcast during National Preparedness Month in September. That's on our main program. Our network program is carried on national networks as well as on the PTL network, and we do talk about things like this. We've had Gary Haven, who produced the film Armageddon, about the effect of an EMP. Would love to get Dr. William Forstchen, if you're watching. I love your books.
I'll tell you what, Dr. Forstchen has done more by writing I don't know how many now, about 3 probably in that subject, about the EMP and what happens. I'll tell you, he's also, as a part of a little B-roll almost movie of it, and that is startling. And when you follow these people as they're trying to stay alive, they're trying to have food to eat, they're trying, and it's a vision God showed me in a dream.
Right.
And I'm telling you, when you see the videos that he has shot there, it's horrible to see that. And by the end of 1 year, 90 to 95% of all Americans are dead.
Right. That's right.
And they're warning this to us, people, you know, like Governor Huckabee and the great scientist, Mondo, that come on our show.
Right.
They have come here to warn us. And in your book is so amazing because you think of the stuff that we've not even thought about around here. So you want to get Ray's good book, his new book, The Value of Preparedness Lifestyle. And if you order the survival book from Ray Gaino, you're going to get the free book just recently published by our good friend
Tom Horn.
And this is a bonus, just a bonus. We give away stuff around here. We do it a lot.
Amazing.
It's crazy. Tom Horn helps me, so we just give away more.
He does.
But get those 2 books.
I like what
for
Ray's,
$15 gift.
I like what it says underneath: surviving the coming storm, the value of a preparedness lifestyle.
Being a prepper, when we started, well, we got to a certain point where we had our stockpile good, our food preps good. We then started using it and started rotating it.
Oh, yeah.
I started saving $500 to $700 a month because we buy in bulk. We buy buckets of food.
Right.
And by having that, then we start eating off of that, and then also going to the grocery store for little things.
Right.
And this actually helped save money for us as well.
Absolutely.
And if people would do that, that would help with the checkbook or the bank account.
You know, one of the news headlines was that they believe that, in fact, it came from the New York Post, that Europe-like terror attacks are coming to America. And the things that we have seen and heard from people who, really information from the underground, they believe that we are going to see up to even 100 attacks at one time. That there are going to be multiple attacks. And it will literally do what an EMP bomb will do. It will close America.
Cripple us.
And crippled because people won't even go out. It's going to scare people. And that's why it pays to have something ready. It pays to be prepared. And that's why I've been urging on these 2 broadcasts this week to people just to
get started, do something.
You know, get 1 bucket at a time. We have, you can get like a bucket of honey. This is real honey, only it's dehydrated.
You hydrate it, is what you do.
Dehydrated. And this, what's the price on this? This is so good because you can put it on everything.
It's $50 for that bucket.
$50. You know the price. This is very reasonable. This is 720 servings of honey. And you talk about something that will give you energy. This honey will give you energy. You can put it on toast, make honey toast and cinnamon. You can put it on your pancakes. And all. So that is for a gift of $50.
What's really good is you take some of this, the crystalline honey, mix it with plain yogurt, and then also I know that you have the dried raspberries, or the freeze-dried raspberries, freeze-dried strawberries, freeze-dried other berries.
So
mix
good.
it together, and that's a great breakfast.
Oh, that is a great
You
breakfast.
just described the way Sharon and I eat breakfast every day. She makes a whole grain toast and puts honey on it, and then for me, makes her own yogurt and then puts honey in it and berries and some homemade granola, and that's my breakfast.
Well,
and she's lost over 100 pounds eating that breakfast every
don't we
day.
have?
Oh, my
Don't we have a special this week on the berries?
I think they do.
You have a fruit variety bucket, yes, sir.
Yes.
So what is that? $100?
Yes, sir. With the bonus Frontier Bites as well.
Just hold it.
Oh, so you get a bucket of variety bucket, and that has strawberries, blueberries, banana chips, I think is in that one.
Diced apples.
And you have
Your
the
spiffy
whipped cream.
Yeah, your spiffy whip.
Have you ever heard of 30-year whipped cream? Now, we also have the vegetables, so if you want to get some healthy stuff, you can get a whole bucket of the variety vegetables. What's in that one, Mondo?
Sweet peas, diced potatoes, sweet corn, green beans, broccoli, and chopped onions.
So that's
And that's
a
105 servings.
25-year shelf life vegetable bucket. Is that $100?
Yes, sir. With the bonus also with the Frontier Bites. They can choose a
So
flavor.
pick the Frontier Bites that you would like to have. I wanted to make sure that if you have been wanting to get a generator, that we have a special sale on right now, a special bargain for our anniversary.
Right.
This is
This is your 56th year anniversary of preaching that we celebrate during the week of the 4th of July. So it's an exciting time, and 56 years later, you're still preparing people.
still working on it.
It's still working on it, yeah.
But this generator we've worked on this for several years. And,
It's
years
amazing.
ago, all they had for generators was gas generators.
Right.
And you can't put a gas generator in your house.
No.
It will kill you.
That's right.
And here is a generator you can put in your house, in your bedroom, in your car, anywhere. And it is, the fuel is from the sun. And so this is let me just walk over there a minute. This is our brand new one. It just came out. It's the 2017 edition, I guess you would call that. And this is the deluxe unit. It's 300% more powerful than last year's model.
That's right.
And this comes with these 2 units for charging.
Yes, this is the main unit, and this is the backup battery. This has 600 watt hours of runtime. This more than triples it, increasing it to 1,800 watts. This is a battery backup, the expandable battery.
And this connects it together to make it as one unit. And people are buying just the one unit, the base unit.
Yes.
And then later on, we're going to add this unit. But for you that get this whole unit now, we're giving for our birthday special, we're giving 2 of these.
Yes, sir. 100 watt solar panels. Yes, sir.
And this will give you double the power as far as speed. This will charge it up twice as fast by having 2 solar panels.
Yes, sir. 200 watts per hour now.
So, and then they get, not only that, you also get the 3 lights. They're 15 feet long cords with switches on each one. So if the power goes out in your house, just plug that in seconds. It's right there. You can have it right there with this unit.
The light kit, those are DC bulbs. They're 2 watts. 2 watts per bulb, and you can bounce them, you can bang them, you can do all kinds of things with them, but ultimately at just 2 watts, you're pulling very, very slowly. You can run that. John, I think we timed it out, we calculated out 4 months and 21 days of one bulb you can run. That's
without
10
charging,
hours a day.
without
That's
charging
right.
anymore. But here's the thing, you got power then forever. You got power for years.
It's renewable.
Years and years.
No exhaust, no noise, which we all know a few years ago when we had the ice storm. We had motors running everywhere.
So
and
you're getting 2 of these foldable
yes.
solar panels They retail for $580
Each, yes, sir.
each.
Yes, sir.
And you're getting a bonus one in this deal, just this special deal, and it's really, really great. Now, with this unit, it happens to be over on your side, you have the hand crank that comes with this special deal, so that if there's a storm outside and if the sun's not shining and you need some power for an emergency or to charge up your cell phones or whatever, you can just plug this right into your generator and you crank that and you make your own power in times of an emergency on top of an emergency. And then the cart is right there. This is an amazing cart. This is our new aluminum cart, and it is so lightweight. It is a great cart, and you can carry that all over the place, and put both units will fit on that cart.
Yes, sir.
And so you have this. This is the new and really improved carrying cart. And then we have the extension cord to the solar panel. That's a $75 cord that comes with it. And then you have the really amazing thing for EMP, and a lot of people are interested in being EMP protected. You get a $600 retail value EMP bag. This is their third generation now of these bags. And we have built our own or had our own made because so many of them that we found online, we tested them, and they simply were not
They didn't meet
working.
the test, Pastor. They couldn't hit the 1 million volt hit with the lightning rod that we do to ours.
And then I think one of the most important things that you need to have is your electric blanket. This is for you if it gets cold at the night, or if you might be up north. There's places up north in Minnesota that's 40 below zero, and you want to stay alive.
Absolutely.
And this will keep you alive. A 12-volt electric blanket that plugs into your generator, and you can sleep warm and cozy all night long.
And don't forget about all the bonuses, honey. You have a black bean burger box, you have the tactical flashlight, and the microwave.
This is a bonus gift. It's a retail value of $150, a 600-watt microwave, which on this new generator is more than enough.
It is, yes.
To
And
cook
that's
your
the
food.
lowest pull that we could get in 600. You can get 700 watt, you can get 800 watt, you can get so many others. The 600 watt is more rare and it's more expensive because it runs strong, but it runs with the less of a pull.
And this light Lori mentioned, this is a powerful flashlight.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
1,000 lumen, Pastor. That'll shine half a mile away.
Yeah, that'll light up your
Just-
backyard.
Wow.
Just one flashlight.
It'll do signaling.
It'll
right?
do SOS, and it'll be a little flasher, and it's
Man.
telescoping on the end, Pastor, so you can broaden the shine, or you can direct it
Yeah.
into a spotlight.
You could use this for a spotlight for a show if you're going to put a show out in your backyard. Look at that. See that?
But I encourage everybody, if you order one of these, to get it out, play with it, practice with it, turn it on, plug it into your wash machine, and just get used to having it around and using it on a daily basis.
You know, what's going to shock your neighbors and friends in the middle of a storm or a power outage, the neighborhood's in the dark, all you do is if you have this in your trunk in your living room like we do, we have about 5 of them in different trunks around the house.
Yeah.
We use them as coffee tables, but then we just open them up, plug in what we want, plug the TV in, plug the direct TV from the satellites in the sky, plug
Right.
the whole deal in there, and here I am in my living room. I've done this before, believe me, and I've done it in a storm. And there I am. We have a big screen television. It's as bright and clear, high definition, and there it is. The whole neighborhood's gone. The whole neighborhood's out.
That's right.
And I'm sitting there watching all the news, all the things, and if something terrible happens, you're going to want to have some information. You're going to want to get the news. You're going to want to say, what in the world's going on? Well, with this in your house, you have your own power source. This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And I'll tell you what, these folks stand behind it, and this power is guaranteed. I mean, they literally stand behind it. And right now, they're giving they're financing it,
Yes.
and you can finance it for a year or 2 years. You decide what you want to do. Just call in and make an application.
Yes, right.
That's right.
And they'll let you know right away.
The best thing to
no
do-
money down.
Best thing to do to get the financing information is go to jimbakkershow.com.
Right. And even you can call the operator. They'll know all about it. You can call them at 1-888-988-1588.
And they'll even let you include the shipping. And if you pay it off within 6 months, they waive all the interest. So to me, that's free money.
There you go.
I mean,
That's
that's the best
right.
way to manage your budgets.
This is something that I wouldn't want to be without.
That's right.
I have whole house generator at our house. We are preppers. We are preppers. But I'll tell you what, if our generator kicks over, I don't know how many days, it won't be that many days. If there's no more power, if traffic is stopped, we're gone.
Yeah.
We're out.
Well, and then something goes on in Branson like it's been going on lately. All your family's going to call you. They all, and you've got guests and friends and relatives and everybody in the world. And you know what? You can charge 4 phones at least right here and plug in another couple here, and everybody's charging their phone. And I got 5 phones in my household, and I tell you what, the kids can't live without them for 5 minutes out of power now. I mean, what's going to happen when they don't have anything to do? So, but in all seriousness, stay connected.
Your refrigerators will charge up in it, and you'll be able to use a few hours a day to save all the food in your refrigerator.
Yes.
So it's just, if you can think about it, it will most likely charge it up. It won't do like things that heat up. It won't do things that, I mean,
It'll do some, but it won't do everything.
this will heat.
That's right.
This, of course,
will
this
run the
microwave, this particular microwave, but
quickly.
But it's not something like a hot iron or
Yeah.
these kinds of things don't usually.
You can peak at about 2,000 watts, Pastor. So that's a robust hair dryer, or even some other things that have some heat elements in them. But just look at the label on the box of the item that you want to plug in. 2,000 is your peak.
And if you're not able to afford $4,200, and all so much comes with it, the
Yes.
bonuses that come with it for this holiday is amazing. It's savings of $3,386.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah, absolutely. This is what the manufacturer,
But
and that's what they're pricing it
If
at.
you're not able to finance $4,200, you could do just this base unit right here, and but actually with this base unit, you're getting the two.
We are including it for a short time. We're asking $2,000 still. We left it at $2,000, Pastor. We're going to throw in a bonus of the extra solar panel and the black bean burger. So you'll get this base unit, the extension cord, 2 panels, and the black bean burger
Oh, wow. For $2,000.
for $2,000. We decided to leave it at the $2,000.
This is the 2017 model.
Yes, sir.
It's brand new. It's amazing. It has the display. It gives you the total
600
readout
watts.
of all of what's going on
Yeah.
with it. This is up to date. This is the brand new one. So for $2,000, you're getting a way beyond. And if I'm not mistaken, we're going to give them for my birthday or my anniversary of my beginning of ministry.
The celebration,
We're going to give
yes,
them
sir.
2 of these as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
100-watt
yes,
solar panels.
absolutely.
So for those who are ordering the base unit for $2,000, you're getting a free $580, is it?
Yes, sir.
$580 solar panel. So you're getting 2 solar panels with this new unit.
That's right. So, for example, this is a 600-watt unit. You're going to charge at 200 watts per hour, so it's going to take you 3 hours to charge it, as opposed to 6 hours. So it just took your recharge time, cut it in half by adding the second panel.
And you're getting this cord
Yes, sir.
with it. So put that up
25
there.
foot.
So that's the extension
cord.
cord for the solar panel.
And you get the black bean burger box.
And you get this amazing flashlight,
That's
too.
right.
It's a
1,000
tactical flashlight. It can break glass.
Wow,
it
this
can
is a
blind
good one.
people. It can, if you need help there.
So you're literally saving $1,940
That's right.
with this base unit.
It makes it about
for
half off.
$2,000.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So this is an amazing bargain today.
Absolutely. And it's a great thing because this unit has the new pass-through mode, which then you can plug into the wall through this unit. If you think you're going to have storms over the weekend, you plug your refrigerator in the front, the power goes out. If it ceases to power, this kicks right in, just battery backup, and you save your flooring and your food.
If you've ever been in the dark in a power outage, you know how horrible it is. You don't have to ever be in the dark. You have written that you have seen the enemies becoming more and more bold.
Oh, yeah.
In what ways do you feel like the enemy is getting bolder?
We just look around at what's taking place in our nation today, looking at the riots that are taking place. I mean, these people are destroying our nation and blaming Trump that he's destroying the nation. They're doing a great job of it.
When they're saying you can't serve God, you can't serve Jesus Christ, you can't believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God.
But that's right there is an attack of the enemy. He is using that against us and taking away our rights, taking away our freedoms. And if we don't start pushing back, if we don't start doing something here soon, we're going to completely lose it.
We were going to have Rick's rant.
Right,
Rick's rant.
Right. We're talking about Rick Joyner.
Rick Joyner has
Yes.
a piece that he does every day. And I wanted you to see today's rant. I don't call it a rant. That's his title. Here's Rick's rant.
The meltdown man. What am I talking about? Do you remember the Piltdown man that they made so much of a fuss about, saying it was the missing link between the human being and the apes? Actually turned out, I think, to be the jawbone of a pig or something like that. It's just madness. And but anyway, I think we're having that kind of political madness now. You know, Bernie Sanders just attacked a Trump nominee for following the teachings of Christ. I mean, went after him. And, you know, Bernie's Jewish, and I understand Jewish people have been terribly abused. When you're a senator or when you're representing the people, you can't attack something that 80% of the population claims to be a Christian. To be following the teachings of Christ, at least 40%, some claim as high, that much higher numbers, but at least 40% are evangelical Christians in America. And, you know, it was quite a attack, and this is intolerable. And yet they will defend Muslims. Also, New York Times stands by the Trump assassination play. It's a play in which Trump is depicted as being assassinated. Many of the sponsors withdrew their sponsorship because of it. You know who didn't? The New York Times and Time Warner, still funding it. I mean, this is crazy. Can you imagine what would happen if there had been a play depicting the assassination of Obama? And the hypocrisy is just becoming so blatant and so clear. Another thing we need to be praying about. I've been warning about it for months. Now it's in the news almost every day. And that is that North Korea, it was in the news today, one step away from being able to hit the U.S. with nukes, and warnings about their potential for an EMP attack, electromagnetic pulse, is almost continuous daily now. That is the most serious threat that we're facing today. Keep praying for that. Keep praying for our leaders. Keep praying that there will be responsible journalists and responsible people, leaders in our security and our defense departments that are going to keep this front and center. It is a threat. It can't go away. Let's do the right thing. I'm just saying, thank you for listening to today's rant.
Member of our board of directors, Rick Joyner. It's in the news today, just what he's talking about.
Totally, right here we're seeing North Korea dreams of turning out the lights. Other line right here. North Korea is now one step away from launching a nuclear missile, and this is what Joyner was telling us, which can then hit America, U.S. experts warn. This is serious. This is something we need to be concerned about.
Yeah.
But we don't believe it. We don't believe it, or we just don't want to hear it, so we're going to put our heads in the ground.
Yeah.
I believe we should be ready. I believe we're coming to the great hour of harvest. It's the soul winning time.
Yes, exactly. And again, it goes back to sharing the hope, being ready to share the hope, and always being ready to share the hope.
Read his book. Find out how, not a radical, but a survivor who survives, what to do, the value of preparedness, lifestyle, because we're going to be able to win the greatest amounts of souls. You know, I've always heard church people say, oh, I want to be an evangelist. I want to be a missionary. I want to do something for God. Well, you've got a chance in these final days on earth to be a great witness. And it's time now for all of us to stand up and be prepared.
Amen.
And the thing that God has over and over and over and over, He's given me the scripture where it says that it's going to take a whole day just to get a loaf of bread. You're going to have to work all day for a loaf of bread.
Day's wages for it.
And I said, God, why is that? And He said, I'm telling you, because you have to be able to know that you don't want to have to work all day long for food. People need to put food away.
Exactly. That's right.
They need to be prepared. And everything in the Bible is about being prepared.
Yes.
And I know you use a lot of the same scriptures I do, but it says, that a person who's wise prepared.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. What we need to do is be ready. And I keep coming back to 1 Peter 3:15 because it's my driving verse. Always be ready to share the hope. Always means always, in meekness and fear, in hard times and good. If we are ready, we are going to be able to share the hope. But if we are constantly being distracted with the woes of the world and, oh my goodness, where do I buy my food? Oh my goodness, little Johnny is sick. Oh my goodness, where am I going to get a gallon of water? When you're just distracted with all this and have these weights on you, how do you then have that freedom to share the hope? You don't. This is a way that the enemy is attacking Christians today, is just weighing them down with all these distractions. Take some of these distractions away from the enemy so that you can become more useful to the Lord. That is the key. That is part of sharing the hope. That is being always ready. And that's what makes me a prepper. I'm not a prepper to survive EMP and all this. I'm a prepper to share the hope.
We talked, I think it was on yesterday's broadcast, about Jim Rogers, who is predicting that a crisis is coming. In fact, the headline is right here, up here. The worst crash in our lifetime is coming. Could we roll that, please?
So what is going to be with respect to the stock market?
Well, what's going to happen is this is going to continue. Some stocks in America are turning into a bubble. The bubble's going to come, then it's going to collapse. And you should be very worried.
So when is this going to happen?
Later this year or next.
Later this year or next?
Yeah. Write it down.
And how big a crash could we be looking at?
It's going to be the worst in your lifetime. We've had financial problems in America, let's use America, every 4 to 7 years since the beginning of the Republic. Well, it's been over 8 since the last one. This is the longest, or the second longest in recorded history, so it's coming. And the debt is so much higher. The Federal Reserve, the central bank in America, the balance sheet is up over 5 times since 2008. It's going to be the worst in my lifetime too. Be worried.
Well, this is what he's saying. This is Jim Rogers. He's saying a storm's coming. Something serious is coming.
Yeah.
And your book says that there is a coming storm.
Yeah. In my book, what I am talking about a lot is being an economic storm. But also, we can look at things as natural disasters, which we've been talking about here in the past shows and things, even to the point of having your pink slip, losing your job. These are all storms. I mean, I don't know how many people out there have lost their job. This is a major life-changing event when it happens. So all these things take place. But if we are prepared, if we're doing the right thing, then we have a chance to take these distractions away from the enemy and then use that time to go out, find the job, fix what we need to do, share the hope also, 1 Peter 3:15. But That's what this is all about. This is, we're mandated by God via 1 Peter 3:15, and I know there's a lot of other verses that you guys have shared as well. But we have the chance to do things right now, and it blows me away that people don't do it. But by the time you realize it, it's too late.
If today you watching, you'd say, Jim, I'm going to start. I'm going to do something every month.
Yeah.
And just once a month, put away a bucket of food.
Yes.
And that's $100 or, a $50 bucket.
Right. So we have so many different offers on the Jim Bakker
Mondo, you've got a few buckets there.
Jim Bakker Show.
And these are $100. You got the vegetable bucket, $100. You got the fruit bucket, $100. And black bean burgers are $100.
And then you got the Fiesta bucket with you over there.
And the Fiesta bucket,
yeah.
What is that price?
$100.
That's $100.
Yes.
Wow, that is amazing. Do it right now and get it started, and just try it. I'd love for you to. Anybody loves Mexican food?
Oh yeah.
You like my?
Yes.
Just get about
love some
order
right
one
now.
of these, and then you get your free stuff right.
Yes, you get a box of the Frontier Bites.
And whatever, there's 3 different flavors.
You get to choose.
That's a little bonus.
That's a bonus thing.
But here's the thing: you get this, and you put it away, and it lasts for 25 years. So you just put it in your pantry shelf right now,
or put it in your closet. That's a great idea. Just find different places to store your food.
But you can start eating it right now.
Oh, absolutely.
If you want to just try it out to see what it's like. I want you to get started, and if you'll do this every month, you'll have a beginning, and you'll have something to stand on.
Yes.
And if you're just all by yourself, you live by yourself. This Fiesta pail, that's several hundred days, if you use one. So you're talking about several months,
right,
of survival.
If you just ate that, yes, right.
Why not do it? Why not be ready?
Absolutely.
This food, when you talk about this food, it's delicious, it's tasty, it's seasoned just right. It's not over seasoned, it's not under seasoned.
And if you would see what it's like for that families and all the millions of people walking in the streets, walking down
That's what
highway,
it's going to be like.
Trying to find something to eat, trying to eat a snake, trying to eat anything, and then dying by the masses, dying by the millions. To have something, I believe that we are facing biblical times, and that's the main reason why I warn people.
I'd say we are in biblical times right now. We're not just facing it. You always talk about we are in. The horses are out of the barn, and that first horse is riding, and that's that war of words, and we are literally living it right now.
So let's prepare.
Yes.
And today you could start with a $50 gift and have the honey bucket.
Right.
The honey powder. And
start with
that is an amazing.
There it is. Thank you, Ray, once again.
That's amazing bucket. That is something that not very many places can you go get these kinds of things.
Right.
And the food is just, if you go to our website, and that's at jimbakkershow.com,
right.
You go there, there's things like a bucket of butter.
Right. We have all kinds.
Where on earth in 30 years will you have butter? You just add water and mix it, and you have your own survival butter. But we have so many things. We have peanut butter. We have everything you can think of.
Just so people know, it's actually easy to cook with this stuff.
Yes.
This is the difference between other foods that are out there. You boil water, pour it in, it cooks. That's why they call it survival food.
Right.
That way you're able to do things quickly and not have to think about it. The stress of the world is on you already.
Yeah.
So again, this stuff, by being so simple and so tasty and so good,
yes,
it's what will help you get through and weather that storm.
Absolutely. That is such a good point, and it's so true.
One of the big things that's coming to the world, and it's like a world war, but it's called terrorism. Have you thought about
very
being
much so.
prepared for terrorism?
Yeah, I have. And what we need to do is we need to think realistically. And this may sound bad to your viewers and things, but like it or not, we may be pulled into fights. We may need to defend our home. We may need to do things. This right here.
Yeah,
it's a tactical pin, but it's a weapon. You know, you can stab with it. You can hit with it. Learn some basic moves with it.
Wow.
I'll show you what I'm.
So
this is my everyday carry knife.
Oh.
Again, punch with it. This little quillion right here, you can hook with it.
Yeah.
You can do all kinds of things. Flick it out.
Whoa.
You ready?
Whoa.
So it's training. It's having that mental idea of what's going to happen to you already.
No, but that's true.
If you don't have it in your head, your brain is going to either fight, flight, or run.
Yeah.
Fight, flight, or freeze.
Well, yeah.
And so if you haven't programmed your brain into some sort of action, what are you going to do?
Right.
It's going to either freeze or flee.
Yeah.
And so those of you who are married out there, men, if you haven't been training or anything and you run and your wife is still standing there, bad on you. If you're froze and your wife is still standing there, bad on you. You need to train. You need to get this thing going so that you have a program in your brain so that you know how to at least fight, do something basic. One of the tactics that terrorists are using these days are using vehicles to run people over.
Right.
Start being situationally aware of your area. I wrote an article on my website, raygaino.com, and what I do talk about, though, is if you're on the street, how to be situationally aware. Pay attention to some of these cement posts. Look for structures that you can run behind. Look for light posts that you can run behind. Put something big between you and that vehicle. You may only have milliseconds to take action, but if you're situationally aware, your body already has seen that and did this little mini program in it. Car comes, I run here. And so, but it's being situationally aware. That's the sheepdog mentality. That's the survival mentality. That's the preparedness mentality. Being ready, being situationally aware. I mean, when I came in here, I noticed all the exits instantly. There, back there.
Right.
I know where to go if something would happen. If some wacko would come in here, God help us not.
Right.
Because you got great security, by the way.
We do. We do.
But it would, I know where to take action. I know where to go.
Yeah.
And because I've thought about it already, my brain will act in a time of stress.
Yes.
Whereas if I didn't think anything about it and I'm just being a lump on the log, all I'm going to do is sit here and die. You need to create allies. You need to have allies in your community so that when something does go down, you're able to reach out to your allies in that community, band together, and then Lone Rangers, folks, don't make it.
No.
You got to work as a community.
The problem is, if you live in this country much longer, you're going to believe that your mother's evil, your grandmother was evil, your church is evil, that everything's evil.
Right.
Because the Bible says that woe unto those who call evil good and good evil. Isn't that what the Bible says?
That's right.
And it is so important that we begin to get back to the standard of God.
Yeah.
That's why thou shalt not kill. There's so much killing going on. Well, it used to be that the Ten Commandments could be hung in the school. They can't put the Ten Commandments in your school, and we let it happen. This is ridiculous.
Right. That's right.
There's one story that I don't think we talked about on the show today about the news media. CNN made the statement that the president's cabinet had their major meeting.
Oh, that's right.
And they likened it to the Soviet Union. They're so obsessed with the Soviet Union.
Oh, my gosh. Still.
They're comparing it to the Soviet Union merely because of all the compliments.
Because they were complimenting the president.
Yeah. And they admitted that nobody was made to compliment the president. That they did that on their own accord, but
they want to stomp it out.
Yeah.
They hate anybody who would say something nice to the president.
Yeah. Anybody that does anything nice for him is immediately attacked.
Wow.
let's roll that B-roll about that. It's only a minute. Let's just roll it.
The media firing sad attempts to downplay President Trump's first cabinet meeting, CNN calling it Soviet-like. Take a look.
This was beyond a photo op.
It was a bit cringeworthy, to say the least. It reminds me of the opposite reason as to why my parents brought me to this country from the former Soviet Union.
So that looked like a Soviet-style meeting.
HUD Secretary Ben Carson joined us earlier. He said the meeting was the complete opposite.
It was wonderful. You know, we talked about how we're going to get the American people working again and bring confidence back to people. And the nice thing about this particular cabinet, we have a lot of people here who know how to do things.
The cabinet talked about the fight against ISIS, health care reform, and the budget.
When does this stop? Call the cabinet meeting a Soviet style because the people complimented the president? Was that the bottom line?
Right.
I mean, it's so sick.
Yeah, it really is.
And we're seeing people kill the president in every way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
They've wished him dead. The Bible says just hating somebody is the same as murder.
Right.
So these people are murdering the president, and biblically, the way the Bible says, when you hate somebody.
That's right.
It's a heartbreak.
And that's why we say, and we run it across the screen almost daily, pray for our president. And remember, again, what Pastor Romero Pena told us when he met with the president one day with a few other, on the Hispanic Council. The President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, said to those few men, face to face, he said, five of my favorite words are, I am praying for you. And that's what he needs. He needs prayer protection, the blood of Jesus Christ covering him from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet, wisdom from Almighty Father God, and the whole family. They all need the prayers of the saints. We are the ones, the evangelicals are the ones that pushed it over, and we stood up and we voted, and we got some mature leadership. And yet immature people are trying to tear him down, break it down. And it's good. The bottom line is, as Jim has taught us, and Ray, you even said it. I saw it in these notes. It's about, the bottom line is, it's good against evil. It's just bottom line basics.
I see a desperate end coming to the United States of America.
Sure. Yeah.
It's serious what's going on. And if only God and the Church of Jesus Christ praying and standing. It's so desperate that I can't understand why the church is allowing it. I just wonder, why can't we say no? We're not doing that. We're not going there. We're not going to accept that. We have freedom of religion. We have an amazing Constitution that allows us to worship God.
We sure do.
And now here in Washington, if they stop this particular one that was appointed to be a part of the president's team.
Yes.
Because he is a born-again Christian.
Wow.
It's much closer to the end than you thought.
That's right.
Our time's gone. We want you to be prepared.
Yes.
It's always good to be prepared because you have no idea what tomorrow will bring.
That's right.
And it's going to come unexpectedly.
That's right.
You can go to our website.
Yes.
And right there is literally hundreds of items that you can order online. And you can literally be so prepared, and you can see things that you didn't even know existed if you go to our website and shop there.
That's exactly right. So just go to jimbakkershow.com, or you can call 1-888-988-1588. You can still write us today at P.O. Box 7330, Branson, Missouri, 65615.
I want to thank Ray Gaino for being with us.
What an honor to meet you. We really love you guys.
We hope that
What a neat Teresa.
you will
Tracy.
if you really want to be prepared, this is Ray's
Yes.
book,
Yes.
Survive the Coming Storm,
Yes.
the values of preparedness lifestyle. And if you order this book, we're giving you this book.
That's pretty amazing.
I predict 12 leading experts tell you what is coming on planet Earth, and one of them is Derek Gilbert here.
Yes.
So thank you.
We love
for being
having
with us.
Derek. Derek, I also want to mention, don't forget on the PTL, on our PTL network, that Derek and Sharon, his beautiful wife, sitting right over here, they have Sci Friday with Derek and Sharon Gilbert, and also Skywatch TV with Tom Horn and Derek Gilbert. So tune in. You can go to Roku or PTL, Apple TV. We can go to Jim Bakker Show. You can stream it right here, just on your little phone. I watch a lot of things just right here, right on this.
And let's stand up.
Yes.
Let's stand up for God. We are not ashamed.
No, we are not ashamed.
You know, we believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross, rose from the grave, that Jesus Christ is the only way to heaven. We believe that. That's what Christians believe.
Right.
And so if you're going to tell me that I can't, I'm still going to. I'm going to. I am not going to turn my back
Right.
on Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Our Savior.
As they sing this song today, just really, just let the Lord minister to your heart. And why don't you minister to Him and give Him all the glory and the honor and the praise. As the band sings, I am not ashamed of the gospel.
We're an anchor for those who are hurting. We're a harbor for those who are lost. Sometimes it's not always easy bearing Calvary's cross. We've been ridiculed by those who don't know Him, and we've been mocked by those who don't believe. Still I love standing up for my Jesus, because of all He's done for me. Not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. No, I am not afraid to be counted, but I'm willing to give my life. See, I'm ready to be all He wants me to be. I'll give up the wrong for the right. That's why I am not ashamed of the gospel. No, I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. For every moment His hand has held mercy, for all the love that He's shown all my life. A simple thanks doesn't show what I'm feeling. I get tears in my eyes. So as for me, I'm gonna keep on believing in the one who's been so faithful to me. I'm not out to please this world all around me. I've got my mind on eternity. That's why I am not ashamed of the gospel. The gospel of Jesus Christ. No, I am not afraid to be counted, but I'm willing to give my life. You see, I'm ready to be all He wants me to be. I'll give up the wrong for the right. That's why I am not ashamed of the gospel. No, I am not ashamed of the gospel. We are not ashamed. We are not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. For we have everlasting life. And I've got too much behind me to let this world blind me. To some He's a name, but to me He's my everything. I am not ashamed of the gospel. No, I am not ashamed of the gospel. No, I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Of Jesus Christ.
Coming soon to Morningside and the Jim Bakker Show. Pastor Frank Amelia returns on Tuesday, June 27th. Bobby Connor returns to Morningside on Thursday, June 29th. Mike and Cindy Jacobs return to Morningside on Tuesday, July 4th. Our friends Pat and Karen Schatzline will be back at Morningside on Wednesday, July 5th. Tom Horn, Jennifer LeClaire, Donna Howell, and Derek Gilbert return to the Jim Bakker Show on Friday, July 7th. Don't forget our annual 4th of July celebration, July 1st through the 8th, a Morningside tradition. Come on out and join us for music, worship, ministry, teaching, prophetic words, and so much more. With guests like John Shorey, James Huey, Bobby Connor, Bill the Junkman Whaley, Hubie Sin, Dr. Cheryl Selman, and many more. Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis will return to Morningside Friday, July 28th. We're honored to have evangelist Alveda King with us Thursday, August 24th. Author and prophet Rick Joyner will be sharing a powerful word. Join us every night at 7 p.m. for The Prophets Speak, an evening filled of worship and ministry. For our full schedule, go online to jimbakkershow.com. We can't wait for you to see what God's doing here at Morningside.